Hi guys and welcome back to our channel The Spirit of Automobiles, and today we are back with another ownership review of a unique car with an outstanding person, Captain Geet. Welcome to the channel, sir.
Thank you, Arjun. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you. Captain, please tell me what was the reason कि आपने Hilux लिया, and because it's more like a very unique vehicle in itself.
I it's been years that I was thinking about something like this. Few years back, I remember close to 15 years ago, I was in Canada. I always wanted to get a truck. That's when it started. And back then, we were not in a position, or we were not, in such financial condition where we were able to afford such a car. But I'm glad that I have the opportunity and lucky to have this car at this day and age, where electric cars are coming in and diesel and petrol cars are getting phased out. But still, probably we are the last generation experiencing such extraordinary vehicles. So
So मतलब इस गाड़ी के साथ या इससे previous what were the cars which were you were owning, which gave you that enthusiasm or that zeal to buy a pickup truck after this?
I had, I remember I learned driving when I was in school, probably 10th standard or something, 14, 15 years of age. And it was my dad's Maruti 800, and followed by, uh, we have had a couple of more cars in the family. And when I went to Canada when I was about 19 years old, I had bought my first car, which was a Hyundai Tiburon. It's
A
probably not
two-door car,
available.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
more
not
like a
available in
coupe.
India, but
Yeah.
it was an amazing car. And then I had an accident. I had that car was a total loss. After that, my second car, which I purchased, was a Ford Mustang. That was an extraordinary car, and I had probably driven that car for close to 1 lakh kilometers.
So that was a 2010 model, or
That was it was a used car that I had bought at that time, and it was a 2005 or 6 model, something like that. But I had purchased that car in 2010,
okay.
and for 4 to 5 years I have driven that car, and it was 98,000 kilometers I have driven that car. That was an extraordinary car, 3.8 liter. It wasn't a 5 liter, but the muscle pull which you used to get in that car is totally unforgettable.
So basically,
And
that
yeah,
was the OG which we have played in the NFS and NFS Carbon wala
yes.
Mustang.
I wanted to get the Shelby 5 liter one, but I was not able to find a decent car that time. So I ended up buying this 3.8 liter, but I ended up installing the Shelby rims in that. That was an expensive affair at that time. But looking back, definitely I was young. That was not the best financial decision at that time, but yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that car. So that was my second car, followed by I had a Honda Civic that was also in Canada. Then coming back to India, I got a XUV, followed by a Honda City, and now I have a small hatchback plus the Hilux, which we have driven today.
Oh, that's quite a plethora of cars you have
Yeah.
been with. And so, tell me about you having owned an Hilux, and even after, and you had a Ford Mustang as well. And then you have like if I see कि आपने आपके पास जितनी भी गाड़ियाँ हैं उनकी build quality, they have been those workhorses and rugged cars. So like take me through the build quality of the Hilux, and what's the best thing design wise you like about the car?
So the first truck which I saw in India, which I wanted to buy, was an Isuzu. But you know, I when I had a test drive, it was my personal. It's my personal opinion. I found it a little underpowered at that time, and I felt a lot of drag at high speeds when I drove it. Followed by when this Hilux came to India, I really thought that it is quite expensive. It is priced as close to a Fortuner.
Mm-hmm.
So in India, you have this, you look at pickup truck in a different way, not the same way how
Yeah,
it's the other
perception
people
is
look at.
quite different over here.
Correct. So I found it very expensive at that time, even though the car had launched long back, but I never went ahead and thought of buying it. But recently, I got to know that the Hilux is at a they have reduced the price, or unofficially they are offering a good discount. I changed my mind. Initially thought Fortuner would be okay, but three of us in the family, I thought we probably don't need a bigger car. Plus, definitely the discount that the dealerships were offering were quite tempting. So, coming to the ruggedness and the tough the vehicle is, as everybody know, it has been used in the world wars, and basically Hilux से ही आपकी Fortuner and all of that. It is exactly the same, except it is a little longer. You have a trunk at the back. The suspension in the Fortuner is a coil, whereas this one is quite rugged, which is a leaf spring suspension. That is what they call it. And I am really excited to try it at different terrain, different places. But in the last 10 months since the time I've had this car, I would say I haven't tested it completely. In 10 months, I have driven it close to 9,000 odd kilometers. But so far, I have loved it. I have taken it to, I purchased the car from Ahmedabad. And from there, I drove down, had a short trip in between at Rajasthan at one of the wildlife sanctuaries and all of that. Then again, I took it to Kasauli, Himachal area a few times. Did a few Chandigarh trips and had a Uttarakhand trip as well. So haven't tested it to its full capability, but whatever I have drone in the hills, I had enjoyed it completely.
Guess ऐसे build quality के साथ you tend to take it to places like these which you have told about.
And I really want to take it. I wish I have more time where I can take it to different places, especially Spiti Valley, Ladakh, Leh, and all of that. And I would definitely, that's the goal for this year.
So like we have talked about the build quality, and because of that ruggedness and that heaviness, you have taken it to places. What about the performance? Like अगर hills पे भी जा रहे हैं, या अगर हाईवे पे भी ड्राइव कर रहे हैं, या फिर एक छोटा ऑफ रोडिंग पैच हो गया है, या कुछ टेरेन जैसा हो गया वहाँ पे, how does it perform? Because this car has a 205 bhp engine with a 5000 newton meter of 500 newton meters of torque.
Correct.
So how does it perform on highways?
I have never felt that की और power होनी चाहिए थी, especially when you are driving at high speeds on the highway or whether you're climbing uphill. They have a good feature called power mode. Definitely it takes more fuel, but it is a pleasure to drive in power mode. So I've never felt that the car is underpowered or anything like that. 2.8 liter engine plus, as you mentioned, the torque and everything is. I have never felt the need that कि इसमें कुछ और होना चाहिए था. And even at high speeds, this car is quite stable.
Okay. So yeah, off camera, you were talking about that you had gone to Uttarakhand or somewhere where you got stuck somewhere, and then that was the first time like a little bit of four-wheel drive activation took place and you had to come out. So a little bit, tell me about that. How was that?
So we ended up staying at a place which was quite uphill in Bhimtal, close to Bhimtal, and after we came downhill, and I got myself stuck in a little patch of mud and the soft mud or something like that. It was all water-filled area. That was the only time I had the car was a little stuck. I mean, if I would have tried a little more, it might have just got through. But I then decided to use the 4x4 feature there, and it was smooth. It didn't feel like that I was stuck at that moment. So yeah, all of those things Hilux is known for, and it's a pleasure to drive.
So हमने performance की बात करी, हमने how you have tackled some roads, how you have gone through rough patches. What about the main thing which concerns people, especially with this kind of a heavy vehicle? What about the braking performance by the car?
Braking wise also, I have tested it downhill, uphill, even at high speeds. It has been quite amazing. Again, I believe all Toyotas are like that. But I definitely, when the vehicle is heavy, and you might not get the confidence initially that whether it will stop or not, especially when you're cruising at high speeds. But I have never had issues. I mean, I haven't tested it that ruggedly yet, but I'm whatever I have driven 9,000 odd kilometers, it was smooth so far. Absolutely.
So, like you just mentioned about Toyota, how's the servicing cost, or like what is, have you bet something with, like, because it's very expensive, it's an expensive car. आपको मतलब कुछ टैकल हुआ कुछ कि पार्ट्स के साथ या समथिंग कि जैसे अब लाइक यू लिव इन दिल्ली एंड दिल्ली रोड्स पे इट्स नॉट इजी कि टू मैनूवर अ कार लाइक दिस और अ ट्रक लाइक दिस, तो कुछ ना कुछ कभी डैमेज हो या कुछ हो एंड यू हैव गॉन टू टोयोटा, और हाउ अबाउट द सर्विस, मतलब प्रॉपर्टीज अबाउट द कार?
So अभी तक तो इसकी I think we have done, I have just done one service. अभी तो 10,000 kilometers वाली second service still pending. But what I have seen the papers which is mentioned in their website and app, it is the service cost is not that expensive. And I'm a big fan of, I mean, I feel the need of taking the extended warranty always, because of when you buy an expensive car, you end up spending a lot on maintenance after the extended warranty ends. So I have taken that extended warranty for sure. Other than that, service cost wise, looking at the papers, it is not that expensive at all. But yes, one thing is for sure कि parts इसके expensive है. If you break something and it is not covered under the insurance, or you have not taken the proper insurance, then you'll end up spending a lot more. For example, I have read that just the light, the headlamps, the headlights cost about 1.1, and the tail lights, it is 60,000, something like that. And the side mirrors each is, I think, 28,000 or something. So it is expensive. It is important to take an insurance plan where all these things are covered, at least to the maximum percentage. But unfortunately, if you miss that, then you'll have to shell out a lot of money.
You will
from
bear
your
the brunt,
pocket.
basically.
100%. 100%.
So, like, if we are saying कि अगर parts and all expensive है, then अगर किसी को आपने जैसे एसेसराइज करा हो गाड़ी को, आपने अगर कहीं करवाई हो, उसके 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 भी अलग से चार्ज, मतलब पार्ट्स लगेंगे, या फिर वो आपको कंपनी ने कुछ प्रोवाइड किए?
See, when you buy a car, you negotiate at different dealerships. Some offer a good discount, some offer a less discount, but a few accessories. Some would offer a discount only if you're purchasing the accessories from them. Correct. So even though the deal I got at that time, the dealership told me that they will give me a certain amount of discount if I purchase an accessory, particular accessory. I negotiated with them. I ended up getting double the price of the accessories, which I had to take anyways because of the accessories that I'm buying. Against it, he was giving me the discount. So I ended up buying at least 60,000 worth of accessories from the company. But not everything in पहली बात तो इस कार में there is so much potential to upgrade and top up and make it better. And वो accessories आपकी कंपनी में covered भी नहीं. Even the roll bar that they were offering is not that great, I would say. So मुझे ऐसा पर्सनली आई फील कि जितने भी ये चिपकने वाले आइटम होते हैं कार में, द साइड क्लैडिंग एंड ऑल द things which are protecting your car, which you can stick, those things it's a good idea to get from the company, from the authorized
dealers and
all of that. Other than that, and also the electrical item, I would say it's a good idea to get from company. Other than that, there's plenty number of upgrades that you can do with this car. Example, you have seen the car. I have not done much because I wanted to test the vehicle for a couple of years and then upgrade it.
But still you have done something, like आपने aftermarket चीजें लगाई है. Could you like explain about them, like why and what was that reason?
So you get a naked truck at first, where the lid, the back trunk of the car is
open,
exposed.
Yeah.
Right. So you need something to cover that up. Otherwise, it gets dirty, and obviously the stuff that you will be keeping will not be secured. So that is the first thing. Now the challenge was whether to get the lid or the full canopy, which is available. So again, अगर canopy लगानी है तो इससे अच्छा तो Fortuner ही ले लो. Correct. So I thought I'd get a lid which will make it look like a truck, not a car again. And so I ended up buying a trifold cover, which is I believe it is imported from Thailand. And there were multiple options available when it comes to the lid. You have a rolling shutter, You have you know automatic rolling shutter, manual one, trifold, one which extends hydraulically up. So this I found better because this was more rugged, and the roll bar which I wanted to put, it was compatible with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up buying this trifold lid. Also, the roll bar, which I mentioned, the company which was offering the roll bar which they were offering was not that great. So I ended up buying again a hammer roll bar,
Mm-hmm.
which I liked. Other than that, since I told you the parts are expensive, so try your best to protect them. So I have got the full underbody protection kit, including the differential, fuel
Mm-hmm.
tank, the front side of it. So all of that is covered. And the one thing is there that this, you don't get a trunk lock with, you know, with the stock car.
Mm-hmm.
So once I've put in the lid, I have aftermarket मैंने उसमें
Trunk
lock
lock.
लगवाया है,
Mm-hmm.
which is accessible with the key which the company has given. So that's it. So just basic changes. Definitely, I want to lift it up later.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get bigger tires, but let me use the stock ones first. Hey, take it easy, no rush. Anyways, I don't have plans to do serious off-roading. I'd have plans to do, but not those rugged and serious. Whenever I plan to do those, I'll get better tires and better suspension, lift it at least a little. But and I feel I want to enjoy it for a couple of years, at least one more year, before I do any suspension modification or different tires. People end up buying a lot of things when they buy the new car, but जल्दी जल्दी में हाथ जलने के चांस रहते हैं. जब आपको ज़्यादा किसी गाड़ी के बारे में पता नहीं हो, when you have just bought it and just because everybody else is doing it and you want to also change your tires, change your suspension without knowing how the stock are. So a lot of people have done it and they ended up noticing कि बाद में उनका टायर टकरा रहा है, या suspension is not that great, या warranty got void because of the wrong suspension. So take it easy. I would say no rush to do those external modifications.
That's good. To be honest, I like that attitude about getting to know your vehicle first and then touching upon the things which can damage and which are sensitive to for the vehicle.
Right.
And knowing, matlab, coming to knowing about the vehicle, how about the ergonomics? How's the drive feel? How's the cabin inside? Because it's a cabin basically. Like आगे दो बैठे हैं, पीछे तीन बैठ सकते हैं.
तीन भी
And
बहुत comfortably नहीं बैठ सकते. It's a very not that comfortable at the back, especially for long drives. But definitely, if you're driving for a couple of hours, it's okay. You can manage well. But at the end of the day, when you're going for a long drive, you need some recline. Thigh support is okay. I didn't have much issue with it, but recline is something which you want in a car like this. Interior wise, it's the same as Fortuner. Not that I would say fancy. It's basic but rugged. The build quality inside the cabin is amazing, so that I have no complaints. But definitely the entertainment system could have been better, and a little recline if they could manage at the back. I know there's a trunk, there's not much space, but if that can get better. One more thing is there which is not that great is the mirrors are not foldable, and it's not a big deal. They could have done it very easily, right? So now there's this manual button where you can press it and the mirror gets folded, but what if you lock the car and you have to go? So then it's not auto folded with the lock. And when the technology is there, they should have done it, I feel. So not foldable, mirrors are not foldable with the key, so that is an issue, I feel.
so, like, अगर मैं कहूँ, like you have also traveled with the car a lot. So when is there any point of time, like after 200 kilometers, 300 kilometers, like, या फिर if someone has traveled with you and he's sitting at the back कि उन्होंने complain किया हो कि like अब now I want to get out of the car, अब मुझे stiffness हो रही है, या anyone except who has driven the car, he's saying कि यार बहुत heavy है, because these pickup trucks tend to have a very heavy steering and some people don't adapt to it. So have you ever got that feedback from someone, और आपके तरफ से भी कभी हुआ हो कि यार 250 किलोमीटर चला लिया, 300 किलोमीटर चला लिया, अब थोड़ा भारी लग रहा है?
नहीं, भारी, actually it gives you a lot of confidence. When you're driving such a heavy vehicle, you need that heaviness. If it's too flimsy and it can be easily, turned, then you don't have the confidence whether this car will be able to survive those turns or, the bad roads, bad patches. So I have no complaints with the heavy steering. That's how I like it. It should be heavy, I feel, especially when you're driving in tough terrains, and even at high speeds, you need that confidence that it will not just turn on its own. So yes, sitting at the back, it's a challenge. I have no complaints driving it, but sitting at the back, let's say if I go out with family for long trip, so इससे पहले वो complain करे, I go myself and sit at the back and let them sit in front, because I don't like them complaining about the vehicle which I have chosen. So मैं मतलब मैं ही बैठ जाता हूँ, इससे पहले वो complain करें. So I drive for a few hours, then मुझे पता है कि अब बस हो गई है उनकी पीछे वालों की, तो मैं आगे भेज देता हूँ. That's it.
Yeah, because that was one of the reasons of asking you, because with family, like they don't tend to get the concept of a pickup truck कि वो मतलब भाई साहब पीछे बैठ गए तो
My wife didn't even drive for the first 2 months when I got the car. She was completely against it. I personally don't like to drive a car for more than 5 years, because I feel I hate spending a lot of money afterwards, when the car is not under warranty. I feel 5 years is a decent time where you get a good value also, and it's a good trade. So 5 साल में मुझे लगता है कि गाड़ी बदल लेनी चाहिए. This car can last forever, I know, but other cars which I have driven, my aim is to just drive it for 5 years and sell it. Whereas my family is not with, the same mindset. They were like, it's a waste of money, and you don't even need, your current car is just fine. Why do you want to do it? But ठीक है, अब I know, it's not just a moment that I thought of buying the car. I've been thinking about it for years. Never, I had, back then I didn't have the opportunity. Now the car is available. We are, probably the last generation to drive, as I mentioned, such cars. Then why not? And a good deal, of course.
So, like off camera, you had spoken to me about like you liked the car over there, or a pickup truck. Like which one was that? Like, and is this car satisfying that need up for you?
When I was in Canada, I have driven 2 trucks. One was a Ford Ranger, and another one was a Dodge Ram. So the Dodge Ram, which I have driven in Canada, I remember it was 4 wheels at the back, and 2 in front. So it was even bigger. But there I see people, people have no issues with pickup trucks, because everybody tends to do the job by themselves. There is no help available as such. So they use it for the family, they use it for the business, they use it for the work, they use it as a utility. But here it's still a stigma that, it's a Dala
की गाड़ी है.
and pickup truck is there. But it is different.
But we can say that कि वो वहाँ पे it's more like a lifestyle.
It is, that's 100%
And
correct.
has it inculcated into your life also, this car as a lifestyle thing?
I got it. See, yes.
या फिर ये शौक में या फिर वो
I would say it's 80% शौक ही है. I'll not say that I'm using it for utility as such, but 80% शौक में लिए. And शौक भी मतलब ऐसे शौक नहीं कि show off करना है, but practical शौक, जैसे I wanted to do a lot of camping and adventure trips with my daughter and family, right? So that they are able to enjoy the outdoor lifestyle. That was one aim. Another serious reason, which I don't know, not many people might be having such issue. With me, I don't like the sound of the luggage in the car, in the cabin. I want my luggage to be completely isolated when I'm traveling. I don't like कि सूटकेस भी बज रहे हैं पीछे and आपका सामान, बर्तन, whatever it is. मुझे अपना सामान isolated चाहिए ट्रंक में, and इसी में ये possible है. So that is, or you have a different car where it is, you have a big trunk. But I like to travel with a lot of stuff. Probably you have seen in my car, there's a proper, camping stuff is there. There's a stove, inflated bed and camping table, chair, so many things are there. You can't have fun with so many things in the cabin. It has to be completely isolated, and I like it that there's no sound in the cabin. Everything is isolated. And definitely the trips which I want to take, there's a, the geography in India is as such, you can enjoy so much,
Hmm.
right? There are so many unexplored places, especially when you're living in North India. Even south for that matter, close to Bangalore, there's a lot of places, but there is a lot to explore, definitely. So that was the main goal.
सर वैसे शॉप की कोई कीमत होती नहीं है बट यहाँ पे व्हाट वाज द प्राइसिंग एंड लाइक यू आल्सो सेड कि you went specially to Ahmedabad to get the car.
So when I had made up my mind that I wanted to get this car, and that was after the completion of the 5 years of my previous car, when I decided to sell it. And initially I thought of getting it from Delhi itself. I called up a few dealerships, and कोई 10 लाख ऑफर कर रहा था, कोई 10.5 लाख. I think the best I was getting was about 11 lakh at a dealership, but nothing more than that. Then I was on a layover in Ahmedabad once. During this period when the discussion was going on with other dealerships of buying the car, I had almost finalized the 11 lakh wala dealership, which was offering me 11 lakh discount. But when I was on a layover, I had opened my curtain from the hotel window. I saw the Toyota
Toyota dealership.
dealership in Ahmedabad. So I just walked in. In the evening, I went there and I told them that I'm in the final phases of booking this car through a dealership in Delhi. If you give me a better discount, I'll get it from you. So, the person there, very nice guy, and he was, he took me seriously. He just made me sit, and 5 minutes after he came, he said, "So what is the price that you are getting?" I told him that this is the quotation I got. If you give me better, I'll get it from you. So I ended up getting close to 12.25. I think it was 12.4 lakh discount or something like that from that particular dealership. And only catch was this, definitely I have to drive it. So then and there I had paid him the booking amount. And next week, whenever I had off, I had taken a flight to Ahmedabad and got the car the same day. Drove it to Delhi via Udaipur. We had stayed there for a day, and that's how I ended up buying from Ahmedabad.
So what was the actual price you got it for then?
I think the ex showroom at that time was about 46 lakh, and with a 12.5 lakh discount, I ended up getting it for about 33, 34 lakhs.
Quite a good discount.
Right. Yeah. So I was not ready to buy it at the price point of a Fortuner.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same car, but I still wanted a pickup truck, because you cannot use such vehicle as your primary vehicle, irrespective of how much you love the car. I like driving my hatchback i10 for that matter in the city area, whenever I am coming close to a marketplace. But you don't take out these type of vehicles every day. So I never wanted to pay this much money for a truck. I think that the price that they were offering after discount is a fair price, because this was the same price that we were getting it in Canada at that time. So now I feel that the deal is worth, because the pricing is almost the same now. I'm not sure whether the discounts are going on right now as well, but till about 10 months ago, I ended up getting a discount of about 12.5 lakhs.
So like right now we are talking about prices and expenses. What is it like owning this vehicle with, and like I'll call it more like a fuel guzzler. So what's the efficiency on this vehicle?
Honestly, you don't buy such vehicles for fuel efficiency. That is it, because you want to enjoy this car and you don't take it out every day. So whenever you take it out, you want to enjoy it without thinking of fuel. That's for sure. So fuel was never in my mind, to be very honest. I have driven the worst fuel efficient cars in I told you the Mustang. So this is double than more than double fuel efficient than that car. But definitely, if you're looking for a fuel efficient car, even a little bit of fuel is there in your mind, you should not be going ahead with this car, because it's not just the fuel. You end up spending a lot more money and weight on top of the car that you have bought. If you are buying this car, there is no limit of how much accessories and the good things you can put on it. So the more heavier you make the car, it's going to be less fuel efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So I even though I have not done much on it, I told you just the lid and the roll bar and little bit of it. But what if I want to get bigger tires, then better suspensions and all of that? It's going to be less fuel efficient after that. So don't buy this car if you're concerned about the fuel. But yes, it's worth if you want to enjoy. You don't drive it every day. It's not your city vehicle. You want to use the power mode and use the all 4x4 features when you're going off-roading, then this is the car to go.
So, like, how's your ownership experience with this car till now? Like, ये 10 महीने में
I
आपने
have enjoyed it thoroughly, especially the short trips, even though I haven't done those Ladakh and Spiti, all of those. But wherever I have taken it, I have loved it, absolutely loved it. And as I told you, I want my luggage to be isolated completely. And, I want, my, have a good time, the camping trips with my family. All of those have been done, little bit wherever I have been to. So far, I have no complaints whatsoever. Definitely, little bit of complaints which I've told you is that mirrors are not foldable,
Mm-hmm.
and the recline is not that great at the back. But it's okay. I'm okay with that. You don't buy a car like this for features, right? You're buying it for other purposes. If you want a lot of features in your car, don't buy this car. Get something else. There are a lot of options available. But if you like rugged cars and you don't care about the features, whatever you like, you can definitely add on later. But don't expect a lot of fancy things in the car which are available in today's state.
So, overall, how would you like to for the people who are basically जैसे होता है हमारे वहाँ की एक गाड़ी है उसके दे लुक अप टू इट या फिर किसी ने खरीदी है उनके ही फ्रेंड सर्कल में हाउ वुड यू लाइक टू गिव योर फाइनल थॉट्स और कंक्लूड कि अगर ये मतलब टोयोटा हाइलक्स के लिए कि इज इट वर्थ इट इफ़ यू वांट समथिंग एक्सपोनेंशियली डिफरेंट या फिर मतलब हाउ वुड यू लाइक टू गो अबाउट इट कि अगर मैं अपने ऑडियंस को बोलना चाहूँ कि एक किसी के पास एक फॉर्च्यूनर हाइलक्स था सॉरी टोयोटा हाइलक्स था और उन्होंने मतलब वाई शुड यू बाय इट और वाई शुड दे हैव इट
See, if you are an outdoor person, you feel that you will be enjoying this car on the rough roads. And मेरे हिसाब से तो India, I know it has the highways have improved really well, but what about the other parts? There are sometimes you end up going to a place where it's not that great. Especially बारिशों में जब पानी भरता है and so many other things हैं. सारी गाड़ियाँ रास्ता बदलती हैं and आप क्रूज करते हुए ऊपर से जाते हो, right? So those puddles, those little bit of flooding here and there is not a problem with this car at all. So definitely, if someone is, like to have a outdoor life, camping a little bit, want their luggage to be isolated, they don't want to have, हमें किसी से पूछना नहीं पड़ता कि आगे रास्ता ठीक है कि नहीं, right? रास्ता है ना, बस
रास्ते बन जाते हैं.
हाँ, so कुछ ऐसा रास्ते की टेंशन नहीं है कि I have never asked anybody कि आगे रास्ता है कि नहीं, निकल ही जाती है कहीं ना कहीं से. It's not a big deal. So definitely, if you are that kind of a person, where you want to have this peace of mind कि if you have this car, it will take you anywhere, no matter what the terrain is. अच्छी रोड, खराब रोड, गांव, पहाड़, नदियाँ क्रॉस कर लेती है कहीं जगह, तो मैंने नहीं की. But if you are that kind of a person who is not looking for the fancy things inside the car, right? A car is meant to be rugged. That's how I feel.
No, I absolutely agree to it with you.
Yeah, and India is perfect for SUVs, and ये तो SUV का बाप है. तो I feel this is something that should be kept in mind if you're deciding to buy something like this.
So that was quite मतलब मज़ा आया आपके साथ बात करके एंड आई गॉट टू नो अ लॉट थ्रू यू अबाउट द ओनरशिप ऑफ अ हाइलक्स बिकॉज एक थॉट ऑफ माई मतलब एक थॉट था मेरे माइंड में भी कि लाइक किसी दिन एक हाइलक्स लेनी है एंड मे बी थ्रू यू it has cleared my mind also कि हाँ, if I want to buy or own a Hilux or not, and maybe for our audience also एक clarity मिली होगी उन लोगों को. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. My
Thank you
pleasure.
so much for your review on the Hilux.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. एंड अगर आप लोगों को ये वीडियो अच्छी लगी हो, इन्फॉर्मेटिव लगी हो, तो प्लीज़ डू लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू आवर चैनल. टिल देन, पीस.